does it make sense to buy a bigger vehicle? And a lot of what we do are family days. So we're packing like 10, 12, 15 people around. That's what we're looking at. We're looking at buying a Jeepney. Can you imagine? Aren't Jeepneys like really bad for the environment, pollution? In Manila, they're phasing them out, those old school ones. And then there's a whole control system. I'm sure you got to watch the corruption about who's getting the money and how much licensing is involved and everything like that. I would be interested to buy it for private use, transportation to and from, activities. You can take that to the ATV spot, to the volcano. You can take that to the underground river. You can go to see the whale sharks. And you know how much it costs every time we want to rent it? It's about... All right, what's up, guys? Scott here from Filipina-Australian family. I'm out here solo, doing the automotive stuff for the day. This place I just found, and I'm pretty pumped about it. It's Mr. Mechanical. So they basically specialize in Jeeps, and that's one of those things where I don't know enough about, all the specialties of the vehicle. There's just not a lot of support for that stuff here, like in America or in the Philippines. It'd be super easy. There's just enough expertise on hand, but here they don't love the American vehicles. They're big with like Toyota. You get some of the luxury specialists and stuff like that, but yeah, they definitely like once upon a time the Australian made vehicles would be like the Holden and Ford. So I guess those are obviously American, but they just don't like they were manufactured locally. That's the idea. So, but Jeeps, no, they're not manufactured locally. They're made in the USA. So anyway, as I wait for this light, thought of the day is a little bit about vehicles and what that means, like wherever you live, One thing we're looking at in the Philippines is how are we going to get around on a regular basis, like where we live. The obvious one would be get a car, but it might be a year before we get fully settled there. And so what we're thinking is, when we go there for periods of time, maybe months at a time, how are we going to get around? And a lot of what we do are family days. So we're packing like 10, 12, 15 people around for a little bit just like time together. It's not like a necessity, but it kind of is in a way. Like if you're going to be away for a whole year, you want to get back with your family, and it's okay to be around the house and have meals and things, but really you want to spend some quality time out doing some fun activities. So that's what we're planning on doing. Last time we were there in the Philippines, we did like a family day down just on a beach resort, and it was super, super affordable. Like the entrance is about maybe 50 pesos each, something like that. And then you can upgrade to karaoke, and you can, obviously free swimming in the ocean front. So it depends where you are. But transport was the biggest cost, and we ended up renting a Jeepney for the day, and that was amazing for me because those things are just like huge tanks, and you think, well, it's a public transit, right? But no, you can hire them for private use, and then we just load the whole family in there, and it's perfect. So the families are a lot bigger in the Philippines. There's my cue. The families are a lot bigger, and you're not going to get everybody in a single person, like in a single family vehicle. So let's just make our way across. Yeah, so all that to say is that does it make sense to buy a bigger vehicle? And that's what we're looking at. We're looking at buying a Jeepney. Can you imagine? A foreigner behind the wheel of a massive Jeepney. I like that idea. I like it for many reasons. The number one is they're not that expensive. The number two, there's tons of like hands-on maintenance. Like there's a whole service aspect to it. You're not just gonna buy a brand new one. I don't even think they are. Those things are just like refurbished over and over and brought back to life. Maybe swap out the engine. Keep it going. So the mechanical expertise in the Philippines that exists is fantastic. So you're going to get trouble-free maintenance. Now, is it going to be fixed really well ongoing? No, you're probably going to be probably faced with some breakdowns and things, just like what it's like to have a secondhand vehicle into the late years. So, but yeah, I like the idea that it's a vehicle that the family can use when we're not there. That's kind of the main thing that I would say is exciting. Because if we buy a car, that's the other alternative, right? You buy a car and you leave it there parked. Who's going to be taking care of it when you're gone? Who's going to park it? Is it safe from theft, damage, weather, storms, everything? Who's going to drive it? Really, not a lot of people have licenses readily to drive cars there. At least in our family circle. So, yeah, the Jeepney purchase, that's an interesting one. So the big part of it is that it could be income generating for the family. We're talking father, cousins, extended family, whatever. It's an asset that could be used to generate income. Again, maybe it depends on the different areas. Like if you're in a really provincial area, I don't even know if they have Jeepney service so often. Maybe they really rely on cars, but at least between Legazpi City and the province where Ella is from, it's probably a good hour distance. And that Jeepney run, people rely on it. So they know it well. And I mean, nobody's pushing me to say, hey, we really need a Jeepney. Can you help us out? It's more about us looking at it objectively and saying, hey, we're going to be back in the Philippines once in a while. And we want to do little side trips. We want to be able to go 3 hours to, say, Naga, which is from Legazpi to Naga, is probably a 3-hour drive. Or we want to do little adventure runs and go out and see the underground river. They have this place called Jovalar Caves, which we checked out. Again, it's a little bit off-road. Those Jeepneys they do pretty well. They do pretty well off-road. Not super off-road, but like, you don't have to worry about a little Honda with mini tires getting bogged down. Look at this guy. This guy's running around picking up shopping trolleys. Man, the way the world has changed. They let people just push these trolleys around and leave them on the curbside. And it's someone's job to go around all the different side streets and pick up someone's lazy behavior. I guess that's just the way it is. A lot of people don't have cars here. So they just push their groceries to their house and leave it there. But anyway, so the Jeepney I'm excited about. We've got a lot to learn about. I did look at this probably about 6 months ago. I looked at what's happening with the legalities of it. Like, aren't Jeepneys like really bad for the environment, pollution? In Manila, they're phasing them out, those old school ones. And they're bringing in environmentally friendly ones, which is logical. And then there's a whole control system. I'm sure you got to watch the corruption about who's getting the money and how much licensing's involved and everything like that. But I think it'll be many years before that filters through until nationwide. So I'd say you're not going to be able to drive those old Jeepneys anymore in Manila. So there's going to be a secondhand market. Maybe all those old ones get pushed out into the province. Maybe it's a cheap price. And once they make it illegal to drive those things on the road, then you're going to end up with something. Can you even use it? But what I'm saying is, I would be interested to buy it for private use, for my own, family or extended family, transportation to and from a province location to, activities. You can take that to the ATV spot. You can take that to the volcano. You can take that to the underground river. You can go to see the whale sharks. And you know how much it costs every time we want to rent it? It's about $150 a day, because it carries 20 people. I thought it'd be much cheaper than that. And how much does it cost to buy? I think you might be able to buy one for, I don't know, even like maybe about 150,000 pesos, which is in the thousands. But anyway, we're going to check into that. I'm just home, so let me check in with Ella. Secret key. Air conditioning. What would we do without it, eh? Speaking of which, I've got to take the car in for air conditioning refill as well. So this is definitely the day of refilling and making sure the car is underway. How about you? Are you refilling? What are you eating?
I'm refilling. Okay.
Cooking?
Outside.
Outside?
Yeah.
Oh, is this the Filipino dish?
Yeah. That's
Don't open it in here. Don't open it in here.
It doesn't smell. I didn't open the seal.
Let's show it. Let's show it up close.
Dried herring, Sardinella fimbriata.
You know, some of this stuff is just under a different name. Like you call it toyo toyo.
Oh, it's dried.
That's just herring. That's like the Russians eat that.
Yeah, it's dry.
So dried herring. Okay. So there's a translation to everything. So don't be scared, guys. Don't be scared of that. And yeah, other than that, as you can see, we've got our hands full with family type stuff. I'm going to open this for her. It's very hot outside. And she's going to do this little camping stove. And what kept me busy was this little project. Things grow very quickly here, and I think it's the same in the Philippines. But as you can see there, I got some, I had to yank a tree out by its roots. Hold on. That's right. So they were just over here in the corner, one there and one there, and they were just becoming unbearably huge. And we have plans for this space. And you know, it's not a huge plot, but in Australia, backyards can be great, you know, but you don't really use them for. I mean, you could put hanging out, like you can have backyard barbecue spots, but a lot of that's in the shade, like there we got a little barbecue area. So pretty much what's going to go there, it's going to be, well, this is a wish list item, but pool would fit there, and we're just got to figure out how and when and how to finance that. But yeah, in the meantime, you gonna cook up some smelly fish?
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna sign off now, and you pass this over to you for the next video.
Yeah.
All right, guys, take care. I'm gonna go pick up car later. Oil change done. Jeepney purchase considering, and we'll see what that looks like on paper and in practice. All right, see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.